Welcome back to the Pro Series Pod. This is episode 77 with Ally Venturo from Ceramiche Tile Stone here in Pittsburgh. This episode has been a long time in the making. It is my first ever in-person Pro Series episode, and I did it with Ally Venturo. We've been talking for probably over a year about this and how we wanted to do it in person. But they recently just moved into their Robinson location, and it's beautiful, and we thought it would be perfect. They had these two beautiful porcelain slabs in their entryway with these two chairs, and it made for a beautiful backdrop for this podcast. We kind of talk about Ceramiche, we talk about her background, how it all came about, some tile trends. It's really a fun episode. Thankful to do it. But before we get into this episode, please make sure you like, subscribe, and review this podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts. That truly helps out this podcast and the success of this podcast, so I greatly appreciate it. But now I hope you enjoy episode 77 with Ally Venturo from Ceramiche Tile Stone here in Pittsburgh.
Yes, you are the first person on the Pro Series podcast in person.
I am honored.
Yeah, everything's always been on Zoom, but we've been talking about this for a long time.
We have.
Long time.
Almost a year, I think. Last summer I came out to Bandura and...
Yeah, it's been a while. And we talked about this beautiful new showroom being the first. And I'm glad it's here. This is like we talked off camera. This should be a podcast area.
We're going to see how it goes.
Yeah. We might have a new love for podcasts after this.
We'll see where it takes us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, thank you for taking time and letting me see this new showroom. It's beautiful.
You.
And I want to first off introduce Ceramiche and what it's all about, and maybe say where you are now in this new location.
Yes. So Ceramiche has a long-running history. We're in our 21st year. It'll be 21 years this August. We'll be legal.
Wow.
And we have been in the West End Village for all of that time, and it served us well. There was a lot of with any transition and change, you're leaving something behind. And if we could have taken all of those parts and kind of transported them in a space that allowed us to grow and expand in the degree we required, then we'd live in a perfect world. But we couldn't. So, after exhausting every option of expansion of growth there, we came to the conclusion that it was probably best for us to find a new home. And we spent a grueling year going after work, my father and I, to, I think the most we did in a day was 4 listings, realtor showings for commercial space. And just like anything, when you know, and we found this place. Of course, it's always the last place you look.
Yeah.
And we could see it. We could see the full vision. We could see, ironically, this wall was painted black by the last occupants. So full circle.
Good taste.
We painted it white just to paint it black again. But here we are.
Hey. And
I think when you can finally see yourself, it all clicks and all the pieces kind of fit together nicely, and there's not this resistance to the growth. It just kind of works out, and that's what happened. And we're thrilled to be in Robinson Township, which is kind of turned into an inadvertent hub of our industry of sorts, or a secondhand. There's a lot of strong, industry partners that we're thrilled to be affiliated with close by. And it checked all the boxes that were left empty in the West End. So
that's awesome. So when you when your family got control of Ceramiche, was that the building, your old building?
It was.
So this is basically the start of the new Ceramiche. Even though it's been a part of your family forever, this is the new Ceramiche.
I would say this is the final piece to the formal rebranding and making it ours.
That's awesome. I mean,
Thank you.
First off, the design is beautiful. People need to come here and see it. I love all the black.
Thank
my
you.
House, people always make fun of me because I have black walls in a lot of my house.
Some people just don't see it until they see it. And during this build out process, our beloved contractor, if there was a question of paint or color, they just kind of, oh, you're going to paint it black. Like, yes, I'm going to paint it black, but it's going to be warm and it's going to be like cozy.
Exactly.
But please paint it black. Yes.
Yes. I mean,
I
there's
like the
nothing.
black.
It's classy too.
I think so.
It's not going to go out of style.
It's timeless. It's timeless. Yeah, it's funny because for Pittsburgh, I accidentally did build a black and gold showroom.
Yes, and we talked off camera. You are not
Don't tell anybody.
Okay. Okay.
All right, fine. You can break the news to them. For not an Eagles, what's the name again? For not a Steelers fan, we built the best black and gold showroom in the city.
Yeah, did you mean to do that? Or do you just like the classy look of gold and black?
I've always loved black and gold. It definitely is ironic considering Pittsburgh, and I have lots of love for Pittsburgh sports. It's just not necessarily my home team.
Yeah. We always say black and gold, but if you really look at it, it's not gold. Like
it's yellow.
In our industry with color and everything, it's yellow. Yeah.
It's like a rich, almost mustardy yellow. Yeah, for sure.
Which wouldn't look as nice in an interior space.
Unless
you're in the Pittsburgh basement or something.
True. You know, one thing we don't have here that some of the other buildings we looked at did have is a true and loved Pittsburgh potty.
Oh.
I might be able to find a place for one.
That would have been nice, right? Like if someone's picking up tile in the back.
Sure.
And they have to go to the bathroom real quick.
Just tie it into the plumbing, throw one right in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Just that's how you really get to know people.
Yeah. Imagine if you get a neighbor and you're sharing that garage.
Would we have to share the Pittsburgh potty?
You'd probably have to.
I think it's probably a rite of passage for 400
Or
Business Center.
I listened to Megan Trainor's podcast with her brother.
Ooh, I'll have to check that one out.
She has, in her master bathroom, she has 2 toilets for her husband and herself. Right next to each other.
Are they at least in like water closets? So there's like
yes,
I think
that's a little
better.
But that's what I'm picturing out there. Like you, Ceramiche employee, and then the next person employee.
Well, I think
2 Pittsburgh toilets.
Is it too late? Can we get Macero Properties on the phone and propose that one? I think you might be onto something there.
Yeah, I think so. It
just brings the people together.
Yeah, and you'll get a nice hopefully you have a nice neighbor.
Here's hoping. The verdict's still out. It's open. So yeah. Shout out to Macero Properties, 400 Business Center Drive, Suite 2.
Not mad at all.
You could be Ceramiche's neighbor.
So what put you in this industry? Like did you like design when you were younger?
I have always loved and admired and appreciated just all things kind of making a house a home and making things beautiful. And there's always been roots. My family has also always had deep roots in a niche in this industry that is tile, of course. And you know, I was the little kid who like anxiously received the IKEA catalog every summer and planned for the big flip of my, bedroom. So in a way, it's surprising to kind of take a step back and reflect and acknowledge where my personal career is, where my family's business is, but it's also not. I think that it all makes sense. Mm-hmm. I know that I've always appreciated anything geared towards the arts and creative and kind of sharing a piece of yourself and all of those things. I definitely was a strong art student in school. I did at one point think that I would be practicing interior design. I enrolled in La Roche's design program. I was really excited about it. One thing or the other, it didn't work out. And what did fall in place simultaneously was a part-time job at Ceramiche Tile Stone. And it was a really, cool opportunity. My father has owned high-end residential installation companies for over 20 years and is a very proud veteran tile installer. Yeah. And it's kind of become our family legacy. My brothers, my cousins working for the summer in high school, my now husband, it all kind of clicked, and you can't really foresee that, but when it makes sense, there's no denying, like, it makes sense, and I am passionate about this, and I am good at this, and I enjoy this, and let's see where it takes us. So yeah, I started a part-time job at Ceramiche in the summer of 2018, and the stars just aligned, I guess.
That's
It was a
awesome.
good fit for me. It was a good fit for them. I think the previous owners could see their legacy and their business, continuing on with me. And sure enough, January 1st, 2020, we had worked out all the negotiations and the deals, and the contract was signed, and my dad and I took over. And
That's awesome.
nobody warned us about COVID-19.
Oh yeah, great year to start.
Hell of a year.
Great year to buy a house and buy a business.
I think, did you buy a house then too?
I bought it
2019?
2019.
So we're a part of history, Eric.
Yeah, like right before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody warned you either.
But at least I didn't have to deal with anything bad. You had to deal with actually our industry struggled, but it kind of helped our industry in 2021, 22.
In the moment, I certainly couldn't have projected like how it all panned out for our family business. It was certainly terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I think it bonded the world, the trauma that is COVID-19 and the pandemic. But, if we were to have opened up our own showroom and been a competitor of Ceramiche, I think they say most businesses are lucky to profit the first 2 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certainly growing pain starting your own business. And put it this way, I am happy to have put the biggest hurdle, get it out of our way.
Yeah.
It's done. We went through it. We all went through it together.
That is
Keep
nice.
it moving.
If you can make it through COVID, and tile lead times are probably insane. Have they gotten better?
So they did get a little bit better for, I would say, like the second half of 2021 into the first half of 2022. And then right around the fall, what started happening in Europe with Russia and Ukraine. This has been so enlightening to me, because I'm ashamed to admit this, but I had no idea, like, some of the most of the raw material for porcelain tile, for example, which is manufactured in Italy, the raw material, so, like literally the sand they mix the porcelain with to be fired, comes out of Ukraine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Russia is one of the biggest suppliers of natural gas, which is very close to Italy, which most of the porcelain tile that we carry is manufactured. So we're at a funny place right now where I feel like tile industry specifically and manufacturing have recovered from, there were tariff challenges, there were COVID challenges, and the current challenge, while we've survived those two, is more what's going on in Europe, and just Italy is limited in their gas supply right now that allows them to fire the kilns to make the very durable porcelain, and the Ukraine is in a state of being incapacitated to supply their resources. And we're lucky to work with very large importers and distributors stateside that have connections with all of those factories and manufacturers who are acutely aware of the challenges they're facing in Europe right now. So where they can, they are, renting out and buying up huge warehouses. And I mean like Las Vegas Convention Center size warehouses.
Oh my gosh.
And bringing over every container they can, so that, us and the end user, the retail client, the consumer, doesn't feel that. But I think it'll probably be another 6 months until we really see what that looks like and how it pans out.
Yeah, that's the one good thing about the tile business is you're usually, well, No, actually, it's not, because I'm thinking, for me specializing in kitchen and bath, I'm thinking tile is just backsplash, and then I backtracked. I'm like, wait, there's flooring, and then if you need a tile shower, so it's actually
You
it
could
is still
tile it
the
all,
heart.
Eric. You
You
could tile it
could.
all.
I did say I put a post out a couple of months ago on like what design, like clever design trends, and it'd be cool to have a bathroom that's all tile, so you could just pressure wash it.
Even the ceiling.
Yeah,
Do it all.
Yeah, so you never have to really clean it. You just pressure wash it.
You just need a drain.
Yeah,
Just one drain.
put a drain in the middle of the room. Might look too little commercial, but
But if you do it with the right tile, I don't think it has to
could.
feel
Yeah,
commercial.
like you could do this.
Isn't this a beauty?
This is beautiful.
This is porcelain. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that is
This is
insane.
book matched 6mm porcelain.
So, tell me more about like trends of size of tile, because obviously, this is not like your basic 4x4 you're putting on in your shower.
This is no joke. This is no joke
This
tile.
is insane.
So
This is like a slab of countertop.
it is. It is actually. So they're roughly 4 foot by 8 foot slabs. This is the Calicut, the nice gold and warm. We had to have the gold,
Yeah,
of course.
obviously.
Had to do it. It's interesting because in my world, we're at a place right now where it seems to go either uber contemporary with literal porcelain slabs of tile. So, your shower is 3 pieces. They just trim the fat if you have, most ceilings are 8 feet, but maybe you have a couple pieces. Or it's this very artisan kind of handcrafted, like Majorca tile, which is generally a smaller scale. There's a lot of character there. Even if it is a manufactured tile, they've kind of perfected it where they're producing manufactured tile that you would think somebody made down in Spain with their hands and a kiln. And it's gorgeous. So, as we all know in this world, Pittsburgh and kind of the East Coast is usually like rolling off the trends. Like we're usually the tail end of the trends.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's a lot of large format, and I am here for the large format. I really am. But I just love tile. There's not a tile I don't love.
Well, you're in a good business then. For like
we lucked out.
Yeah.
We lucked out.
Yeah. So what do you think about color-wise? So we were just in KBIS last week, and there's a lot of color going on now, which I love because, I mean, this is color.
Mm-hmm.
This is not what we're used to here in Pittsburgh. Everybody comes in and they want white with the gray. So what are you seeing with tile coming in? Is it still in that?
I am here to officially, like, where's my little
Breaking news.
Judge thing? Color is back.
It's back.
We're back.
Ooh.
Greens and blues are becoming neutrals, which sounds bananas, but if it's done well, and it is kind of more of like dare I say, like a pastel or a softer tone, then you can really like pack the punch with accents with a bold emerald green chair,
Yeah.
Color's back.
Yeah.
Color's back. Pattern is back. And I must say, I respect that you should have what you want. You're spending the money. If you want a white, clean, lined bathroom, I am happy to provide that for you of the highest caliber of quality.
Yeah.
It is inspiring and refreshing and exciting to be designing spaces and collaborating in spaces that have color and pattern.
Yes.
It is.
How about texture? I feel like
they kind of play hand in hand.
Yeah, but is texture a big? I mean, you have some texture back there with tiles, but is that something people want, or they want that smooth matted look still?
I think there's definitely a balance to both. I think that if people are going pattern, color on that end of the spectrum, they're cool packing the punch. Like, let's do it. We just installed tile in what's soon to be TBD, our conference room that is an embossed pattern. So just standing on the floor looking at it, you think it's kind of just like a printed pattern. But if you get down on it and feel the tile, it's embossed, which adds such a fun element and so much depth to the design that I think the people who are already erring on the side of pattern, color, they're like, hell yeah, bring on the texture. Like it's just another element. It's a textile, you know?
Yeah. So here at Ceramiche, you fulfill all the needs for, aesthetically pleasing stuff, but obviously people have to install these. What's your advice on, I mean, you probably walked through open houses or been in an apartment where they have tile and it is like horrible. Like I was in the hotel last week, which was beautiful, but looking down at the shower floor, the grout lines were not even and it was driving me crazy.
So it's probably better to just go out into the world and ignore those things because they are the bane of my existence.
I can't ignore it.
I don't think that I have ever entered a bathroom or a hotel or I notice it too.
Yeah.
And I am certainly not, nor do I pretend to be. I am very lucky to have such an expert and a knowledgeable resource, and I utilize it because I don't have all of the answers, but I know that I have the backing that is Mosaic Tile Works, my dad Darren, who has been doing this residentially for over 20 years, and thank goodness I have that resource because it lends to our entire clientele and every order that walks out of here. Inevitably, things happen, right? Tile is still installed by human beings. So mistakes, errors happen. And I'm very proud that in 2023, that is a level of support Ceramiche offers that I would dare wager is not, universally seen. It's easy for me to sell you tile and hope for the best for you and your project, but not be able to support any issues that arise and kind of just be like, I didn't make the tile, I didn't install the tile, so sorry, but not my issue. And it matters to me. Like I won't sleep at night knowing that you're having an unfortunate challenge on a project of yours. And so I'm so appreciative to have my father and that resource that is Mosaic Tile Works, which is my brother and my husband, so that I don't have to have all the answers, and I don't want to, but I want to have the resources to make sure I can guide my clients in a sale or in a challenge that ensures the best end result. And sometimes that means, them heading to job sites that were not ours to address and rectify an issue. And I think that helps build deeper connections with my industry, with designers who have been in that unfortunate position of being the middleman between a client who's dissatisfied with a product and a vendor who supplied it, maybe didn't manufacture it, but is kind of just so sorry. And I'm tremendously proud of that in Ceramiche.
You sell the product and push you out the door type of deal.
It's easy to load up a truck full of a pallet of tile, but if I don't take your call like 6 weeks later when your installer is in the thick of it and facing a challenge, like, are you going to come back?
Yeah.
Probably, maybe not.
Well, that's the thing. We're in such a business right now that like everybody has to do something in their house. So anybody we go to all these NKBA, ASID events, and you hear about other people's work. And that gets around, and you don't want that to happen to your business. So you want to be there. You don't want to just let them go and kind of be a free-for-all type of deal and just hope that your product, because you also kind of want to see what it looks like when it's done too. It's the whole point of selling it. You just don't want to just sell it and not hear from your customer.
Very rarely. And unfortunately, where's some wood? There's no wood in here for me to knock on, but
you sell tile.
I don't think there's a piece of wood in here, but unfortunately, most of the time, if we are seeing a project, it is because there was a challenge and something happened, and there's maybe a little bit of support that we can extend, and we're happy to do so. So that is definitely the silver lining of it all, is even if flawed or challenged, I get to see more projects somewhat, mostly nearly completed, since tile is such a final finish.
Yeah.
It is hard. I think if there's any point I could drive home, it's that, like, you know, there's plenty of places to buy tile, and especially in the world we live in, which is so resourceful. And we spoke earlier about like our Instagrams kind of like listening. I appreciate it. They give me everything I need. All I have to do is say it to my Instagram, but I respect the privacy and everything. But you know, all I have to do is say like tile, 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 and I'll get a Wayfair ad on my Facebook for tile I can buy on Wayfair. What Wayfair cannot offer that Ceramiche can is that, you know, if a pallet of tile arrives on your job site and there's 2, 3, 4 broken cartons because tile breaks and things happen in transit, I'm going to show up with 4 replacement cartons, even if it's Christmas Eve 2022, to see to it.
Sounds like that happened.
It might have happened. It might have happened.
Oh, okay.
It was a very crucial fireplace. It was a very important Christmas, and it was nearly on my way home. So if I can make that happen, I want to. Absolutely. And it is the difference of our reputation. And I hope at the next networking event, if people are going to be talking about me and Ceramiche and our business and our reputation, that it's in a positive light, maybe even inspiring.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what's your future of Ceramiche look like in the next 5 years? Or what are you hoping for other than your podcast?
Oh yeah, guys, my podcast is coming 2024. Just kidding. You know, I think during the transition of this move and kind of taking a bigger look at the brand that was, the brand that is, and the values of Ceramiche, I'm still working to answer that question myself. And I can say that I am positive and I'm hopeful, and I think it's promising, but I don't know what that looks like yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like that mindset, it works for you because like you wouldn't have this. It all happened for a reason.
I think so.
So what all the good that's coming, you don't have to, I'm big on manifesting.
Yes.
But
we're a mantra family here. Are you kidding? I love it.
Yeah, and you don't always have to do that. Sometimes the best things just happen.
I can be a little bit anxious, and I am a proud planner. What I do know is that I believe in Ceramiche. I believe in what we have kind of made it to be ours. I believe in my team, and humbly I believe in myself. So I am very optimistic. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see what that looks like either, but I don't know. I just know that I have faith. I know that we do everything we can to be the best advocates for our clients, the best support when support's needed, the experts in our niche of our industry. And I think that's going to pan out in a promising and bountiful way. But I got to see it through first.
That's awesome. That's a good way to think about it. And I want to end with, I always end the episode on where people could find you on social media and I guess the showroom as well.
Yes. So our brand new showroom just opened on January 2nd of this year, 2023. We are located at 400 Business Center Drive in Robinson Township, right off of Campbell's Run Road. We are very excited about the new showroom. We appreciate every ounce of grace and understanding while we, work through the last few punch list items and get it to like the real grand opening state. And we hope to see you all here and feel that support when that time comes. Our social media, it's a Ceramiche Tile with the and symbol,
Okay.
not the word and, on
Oh.
Facebook.
Okay.
And our Instagram is Ceramiche_tile.
Awesome.
And
how about you? Your social media? You don't have to give it out. You don't have to give it out.
my Instagram is tilequeen.pgh, like Pittsburgh. And yeah, we have some exciting and new content underway. So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to sharing that all with you soon.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for hopping on and being my first in-person podcast episode.
Thank you for having me be your first in person.
Yeah,
It
awesome.
truly is an honor and a privilege, and it means a lot to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we'll have to do it again. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.